Hello, 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 and hello, everybody. How are you? You guys give us a moment over here. Yes, there I go. Hello. How you guys are doing? I want to welcome each and every last one moment here. Here we go. I'm sorry, getting making sure that all systems are locked and loaded in that this press conference is being streamed in every space. All right, so listen, hello, you guys. Listen, I want to thank you so much, and I want to welcome you to the I Am Her International Virtual Press Conference. I'm so excited to have this conversation with you on today. And so, while that you're here, I want you to go ahead and share this broadcast right in your social media platforms so that those that you know can get in on this conversation as well. Look, I'm so excited. What are the information that you're going to learn today about I Am Her International? So you guys just um, come on in and definitely make sure that those that you know are going to get in on this powerful conversation on today as we bring revelatory information about the I Am Her brand, who we are, what it is that we do, why do we do what we do. Today we're going to be talking about the I Am Her awards, the I Am Her pageant, and the other components of this amazing brand. So go ahead and tag a friend, tag a neighbor, go ahead and tag some people on today so that they can again join us in this conversation. So they can join us in this conversation. And let me make sure that's down. Okay. And so what I want to talk about. Let me go ahead. I'm trying to do two things at one time. Y'all know that just don't be working out for me all the time. But let me just start here and give you the heart of I Am Her International and why this entity exists today. I Am Her International is a supportive and friendly community where women of faith can connect, collaborate, get compensated, as well as they join in on, various projects with one another in their personal, professional, and spiritual endeavors. Like we provide online and in person professional, spiritual, and personal development training. We share tips, we provide feedback, foster collaborations, and so much more. This entity evolved. It came about back in 2019 when we first started with the book 31 Ways of Influence, Volume 1. And at that particular time, I just assumed that it was an anthology that, women was just going to get on and we was going to spread our message and we was going to take that message to the world. And so we started we was doing a 5 country book launch with that particular project. And as we begin to launch this project, the Lord began to speak to me. He's like, listen, these women are going to need a space where they're going to be able to have a continuation of what it is that they're obtaining in this in these conferences that you're doing. When we first launched, I said those 5 countries, it was the US, the UK, South Africa, Kenya, and Barbados was on our our calendar to go and just do the I Am Her International Conference. And so that's how this movement actually really started. And so it's a space of accountability, a space for collaborative partnership, a place for support for women, in whatever it is that God needs for them to do, because the daughters of Zion is surely on the heart of God. And yes, a woman of God, that means you, that's on the heart of God. And God just desire a space and a place for you to be able to step into that total woman and obtain whatever it is that you need. Everything is in the room. I remember God was having a conversation with me. He's like, "Look, everything that is necessary and that's needed, everything that each woman needs, it is right in the spaces in the room as they connect with one another." And so that's the environment that we want to make sure that we continue to grow, cultivate, and develop as we continue to bridge the gap with women around the world in their perspective places. So we are founded. We do. Um, Operate under the very principles of God, and we are founded right on the Proverbs 31 woman, and we just believe that there's a Proverbs 31 woman inside of each and every last one of us in our own right, in our own space, according to our own design that God has called forth in our very lives, dynamic women of God. So this is this place where you get to maximize yourself mentally, emotionally, financially, spiritually, and physically with the various components that we have with I Am Her International. And so today you're going to be introduced to a few of those components. I just want you to know that we are on a mission. We're on a mission with this particular platform to equip, encourage, empower, educate, and encourage, employ women into their endeavors, their purpose, their power, their passion, so that they may fulfill the destiny that God has called forth in their lives, while at the same time celebrating her, celebrating you, and whatever it is that God has chosen for you to do. So we do host various conferences. We host award shows. Next year, we're birthing fashion shows and pageants, as well, to just, bring other components of the totality of the woman, as well, so that you can move forward in knowing that there's a sister, there's a group of sisters that's currently behind you. And even as we connect with other women organizations who are doing a great work, who are doing things that are similar or even the same thing that we're doing, so that we can build the capacity, right? And what it is that God desired to do, in the lives of women for such a time as this. And so, for those who are already connected, I'm so glad that you are connected. I'm so glad that you've already been a part of this journey. But I want individuals to be able to maximize like what it is that they really can get from the I Am Her International community for such a time as this, even as God have us moving into other phases and rolling out other things um, for the daughters of Zion. So I don't want you to miss out on that. For those that are not connected, listen, you definitely want to get connected. You can definitely connect with us on our social media platforms at I Am Her International, right? You can go to also www.iamherinternational.com and connect with us there as well. We just rolled out even, I think, our membership. You guys going to be seeing things go around here on social media about that as well. But we do also have a group over on Facebook called I Am Her International, and you can join us over there. I'm going to pause for a moment right there because I want to know who's in the room with us, where you guys are listening to us from. We're streaming at over about 20 platforms. I'm hoping that our software is working the way that it should be, and that I can see all of your responses and things of that nature as well. If you have any questions about um, any of the things that we're doing, any things that we're going to be talking about today, make sure that you put it in the comment. If I do not see your question, I will definitely make sure that I go back to every platform and individually answer it if our tech is having some form of failure. Okay, so let us go ahead and definitely um, talk about and move in some of the other spaces that have been established here with the I Am Her International platform. So I'm not sure my we wanted to announce to you guys, or I wanted to announce, and I am still going to announce because I'm not sure what's going on, and we're just going to keep her and her family in prayer. Our executive director for our pageant, we want to definitely make sure that we keep her in prayer, and that's Erica Quinn. And so I want to, because the last I talked to her, I know that her mom was in the hospital. I know that her mom's still in the hospital to this day, and so we'll see what happened, if she's able to hop on or not. So I want to pause here, and we're gonna do some introduction, some information. I want to start here first with the I Am Her international overview video. And then I'm going to come back and we're going to talk about the I Am Her International Awards. We got Miss I Am Her International 2022 here with us. And then that's going to segue us over into the I Am Her International pageant as well. And then we got a few clips and things of that nature from the I Am Her Awards show. So you guys show us some love. Let us know where you are logging in from. Let us know. In addition, who you are, what you do, how you're showing up in the world, making a difference. You never know who may be watching live or watching the replay that may need what it is that you are offering as well. You guys know we're all about supporting and promoting and pushing people into the things that God has called forth in their lives. So you guys stay tuned and listen up to for our quick overview. Listen, like that 2 minutes almost like there's no justice to all the things that we do here at the I.F.R. International, in this amazing movement. But listen, you guys, I want to talk about the wars. I'm gonna bring up Dr. Chanel, who is Miss I.M.H.E.R. International 2022. But listen, this particular component was something that got birthed in 2021. And the purpose of the I Am Her International Awards is to honor the contribution of women on the seven mountains of influence around the world. With this in mind, our goal is to celebrate women who are making a difference and encouraging other women to come forth and own their sphere of influence unapologetically. Unapologetically. In addition to bring forth and unite a united front of sisterhood and what people may just not know. Listen about this particular awards, even as it came forth, and God had been placing it on my heart. Look, we are the only entity that celebrate women in the around the world in the capacity in which they are being celebrated on the seven mountains of influence. So I'm absolutely excited about that, to be the first, and I'm sure there are going to be some that come behind us, as well as as individuals see the impact that is going to have in the life of individuals, right, around the world. Now, a couple of things that happens with this particular entity when people are supporting our awards, and when they're supporting, they just don't support the awards itself. These are some things that happens with some of the proceeds from the award. It is to support our outreach initiative to build I Am Her International Training and Development Centers for women and young girls around the world. It is to help build and expand a technology incubator for ministry and business to bridge the digital divide, right, globally. It's to help support and patronize women-owned businesses that provide so that we can provide support, resources, and training to them, right, through our I Am Her International initiatives. Our goal is to develop a multi-purpose micro technology incubator in Nairobi, Kenya, for ministers, entrepreneurs, and the community. Also to develop several of those. That'll be our first, right? That'll be a pilot, and then we'll also build our first pilot women and girls training and development center in Ghana. God is so good. And listen, we want to provide business startup support for 20 women. And we want to provide training and resources in business and women to over 500 women a month. And so this kind of helps us push forward in those initiatives that we have. So, so this is what happens with that. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and bring up my Miss I Am Her International, and then we're going to see what's going on over here. So, hey, hello, woman of God. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Listen, I'm doing absolutely excellent. I don't know what's going on. I'm in the dark right now, but it's all good because we're gonna we're gonna figure out what's happening here with this lighting because this is going on and off. But nevertheless, I want to turn it over to you for a second, about 2 minutes, and I want you to let the people know about your experience with the I Am Her Awards. And listen, and I got to come back and tell you guys the story behind how this pageant, I Am Her International pageant, even got birthed because it was, listen, this woman who decided that she was going to that she was in for the nomination for the I Am Her International Awards. And when I was calling it out at the podium, the Lord was like, I was like, oh my God, I had a whole revelation about it, and that it should have been um and a pageant and all this stuff. But I'm gonna give it over to her for a second, and I'll be right back, you guys. So Dr. Chanel Sermon, the I Am Her International, the Miss I Am Her International 2022 Dynamic Woman of God. You have the stage.
Hi, everyone. I hope all is well with you. My name is Dr. Chanel Sermon, and I am the 2022 Miss I Am Her International. Thank you so much for being here with us. This is a wonderful organization. For those who may not know what HER stands for in this organization, it stands for Healed, Empowered, and Resilient. And it is a great honor to represent women who are healed, empowered, and resilient. What I plan to do with this title and this platform is to encourage people, for one, to take care of themselves mentally, emotionally, in all areas. In fact, I plan to promote mental health. In other words, taking care of your mental health, because the stigma is real. And the stigma is the reason why people are not getting help, why people are still hurting. And to be quite honest, I have endured some type of things stemming from mental health related issues. Things such as low self confidence because you don't think you're good enough. Things such as low self worth, meaning you're accepting things from people that you should not be accepting. So I want to let you all know that being a part of this platform is a real great honor. And one thing particular that is so special about it, that it is that God backs this platform. God is truly with this organization. The first time I have met Dr. Daraje in person was at the I Am Her International Award ceremony in Georgia. And I mean, the atmosphere in the room was just so beautiful, so peaceful. And then I had traveled from Columbia, South Carolina to attend a ceremony, and to just have gone through so many things and having traveled from my hometown to be there, it just felt like a weight has been lifted off me being in that room. So this was definitely not your typical award ceremony. And all the women there, even those that were nominated, everybody there was a winner in their own way. It really was just a beautiful atmosphere and very powerful. So being a part of this platform is a wonderful thing. I am encouraging you all to look for or observe someone that you see that might be unsung, because this definitely helps out the unsung women, the women that people may not know are actually making a powerful impact in their communities. People need to see these types of things. So it's very important that we show love to everyone. We respect people, no matter what they do. Honor every good contribution that you see. And I am finished for now.
Yeah, so yes, I want you to hold that thought and listen. It is. We're gonna talk about that. Oh my God, we're gonna talk about that horror show. But I want to bring Tamara Mitchell in real quick. She is the 2021. She was the 2021 CEO of the Year and Woman of Influence of the Year. Tamara Mitchell Davis. So, Dr. Chanel, hold that thought. Let me bring her in real quick as she's just running through here. Hey, Tamara, how are
Hello,
you?
hello, ladies. How are you?
Excellent.
Awesome.
So, Tamara, I want you to tell the people about, your experience with the organization, you being, as well as, I'm going to put you on solo here, as well as you being the I Am Her 2021 CEO of the Year, as well as the Woman of Influence of the Year.
Yes. So, I can't believe that. Like it didn't seem like it was that far away. that far away. Time is passing by so fast. So it was an honor for me to be recognized by I Am Her, Dr. Zorn, and her team. It was unexpected, so that is always great. But the mission of the organization is what really kind of connected me to the awards, to the celebratory mission to educate and empower other women. And so when I became familiar with this platform and the mission, I was definitely intrigued by it. And then to be honored and celebrated for my contributions was definitely icing on a cake. As a business owner, we do what we do by way of serving and providing value and just being in business to make the impact, and don't look for accolades or recognition of any kind. So to be honored, as I mentioned, was definitely a highlight of the year, highlight of the month and the day. And so, Dr. Zorn, I just wanted to commend you and congratulate you for still moving with the I Am Her international platform, because you are paving the way and trailblazing the path for other women like myself, who you take the time to honor and recognize for their contribution. So I had a great experience that year. It was a highlight that year. We were in the midst of the pandemic, so it was virtual, and I had the family around, and my name was called. It was like being at the Grammys, and so um, I was definitely excited for the honor. And thank you again for having this platform.
Yes, absolutely. I just want to thank you so much for just showing up and just being great, right? Showing up and just doing what it is that God has called for you to do and making a difference in the lives of other, well, women and men, right? As well. So, and so God sees and God knows and God honors, God said, I'm going to make your name great, right? And so,
That part.
what one of the things that I've learned about when God says he's going to make your name great, he puts your name, your platform, before other people, in front of other people, and you get those accolades and recognitions and things of that nature, because he's making your name great. So you continue to do the amazing work that you're doing. I know that, look, you just took a moment to come and be with us. So thank you so much for coming out your busy schedule,
Thank
right?
you. Thank you.
But you just have an amazing, amazing evening.
Thank you. You as well.
Okay,
Continue
blessing.
blessings.
Yes, thank you. Dr. Chanel, Dr. Chanel, Dr. Chanel. So listen, look, this amazing woman right here. Listen, Tamara, awesome, amazing. Then we have, look, Dr. Chanel. Dr. Chanel Sermon, just absolutely amazing, doing great and amazing things. Like she said, she came from South Carolina. She came over to be a part of the award show. Now, listen, the Lord, like I said, the Lord met us there, and it is not your typical awards. Like, nothing I do is typical for those who know me, and that's familiar with me. We do absolutely nothing typical. The other thing I wanted to say, she begins to tell you about what her stands for in I Am Her. And you talked about how God backs this organization or this ministry, and he backs it because guess what? The I am portion in the name is him. The I am is God Almighty Himself, right? And so the name itself is just so ingrained in the Lord, in God, and then her is the attributes of is what He has given. You know what I'm saying, unto us. Some of the things that He's given us, right? So we can be healed, so that we can be equipped, so that we can be empowered, so that we can be. And I do a lot of things with the ease, right? A lot with the ease, and so you can be resilient. He's given all of that to you, healed, empowered. right? Resilient. That only comes. You can only breathe that through God Himself, right? Because we've all been through so much adversity. But to know that women who have been through adversity have pushed through it because God's hand upon them, because God is a God of promise and God is a promise keeper, and He's given that all to the daughter, to His daughters, so that they can obtain where they have arrived and where they are going, but then to be able to put them on display, right? To be able to put them on display, so that others can know, what God has done in their lives is such an absolute honor, such an absolute honor. And so, Dr. Chanel, she is the Miss I Am Her International 2022. So she also won some other awards while she was there. You got Teacher of the Year, right? And was it Nonprofit of the Year as
Yes,
well?
ma'am.
So she got those too, and I'm gonna let you talk about those in a moment. What you do in the educational component, and as well as your nonprofit, because listen, she's moving and walking in her God designed purpose, right? Her God designed purpose, and it's just such an honor um to just be a part, right? To be a part of women of God like herself, like Tamara, and all of the other women who have either been nominated or actually became recipients of the awards, in addition to those who benefit from others just being a part of this platform. So I'm absolutely excited about it. By the way, the I Am Her International Awards nomination is open, right? And it's open to October the 15th. So go ahead and nominate a deserving woman who is doing her thing in the seven mountains of influence. And when I say that it's over 70 categories that you can nominate a woman in, it is there. We are helping, we are serving, we're honoring the contribution of women that sits on the mountain of in religion, in media, in arts and entertainment, in business, in family, in government, in education, and then we have our distinctive awards. In addition, we have our Youth on Fire. So those are I think it's like nine different categories, yeah, nine categories that we nine areas that have over 70 different categories among the nine that we are honoring women in the Youth on Fire Quest. Those are our youth, but I'm excited to even be honoring them because they're up and coming, right? They're coming right behind us. They're at the hymns, and so we want to make sure that we're encouraging them as well. So Dr. Sermon, let's talk about your other two awards, and then I'm gonna talk about what led us to shift where we moved the I Am Her International Awards from the that particular award from our awards, and we moved it all together over to a pageantry, but we're going to talk about that in a moment. So let's talk about your other two awards. You got Teacher of the Year and Nonprofit of the Year. Let's talk about how you're showing up and you're making a difference in those two particular areas.
I think the most important thing for a good teacher is that she is effective. I think that she should also have compassion for her students. And compassion, having compassion might sound cliche, but when I say this, I mean you truly, when you work with students, you got to understand that nothing is going to be perfect. And so being a teacher means you're always learning because you're always going to get a different group of students. You're always going to have to learn and adjust. How can you accommodate certain students? So to be the I Am Her, and Dr. Rajay, I love how you said, I am already says God. When you put that with teaching, this is what God wants. So even as a teacher, all teachers out there, it's what God wants. God wants you to give the children, give students instruction. And when you come from a place of being healed, that means you've learned some lessons that you can pass on to your students. When you are empowered, what are the things that you take from those lessons that you can tell your students, don't you do that. Don't take that chance. Don't take that risk. Try something better. Look at it this way. So what can you do to empower your students and to be resilient? Because sometimes the battle is not easy. Sometimes you're dealing with opposition. Students coming from different backgrounds, they're being taught in the way that does not lead to righteousness sometimes. Sometimes it's other things that get in the way. But being resilient means you're still showing up. You're still doing whatever it is that you're supposed to do that God has placed in your hands. So that's what being the teacher of the year is about for me, with being um, I am her teacher of the year.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I love how you know what I'm saying, you brought the correlation of, you know, even in the transformation, you know what I'm saying, of what God has put in you into the lives of those who you're touching, right? I absolutely love that. And then you're a nonprofit.
Okay, so my nonprofit organization has brilliant women in this organization, and there's only one type of woman in this organization, and that's a working woman. That's a woman that goes out and do service and give God what she has when it comes to service. These women, some of them, they go over and beyond, but all the women that I have in this organization now, they have completed service within the last year, and being healed, empowered, resilient. They all have stories. One of the things that I've started to notice about us as we come together, we realize that a lot of us have been dealing with issues surrounding mental health because of trauma, or maybe something that might be physical more over than psychological. I want to say physiological, if that makes any sense. But we realize that this is important to encourage people to get help. I personally think it's really a trick of the enemy to discourage people from getting help by saying, well, you need to get a therapist. But then, and that's a stigma right there. When you tell somebody, well, you need to get a therapist, you need to go get some help, and you do it in a way to insult someone, that person that probably really needs help, they're probably not going to go get it because they believe that everybody that reaches out and go get help, oh, they're supposed to be, hate to say it like this, crazy by that definition. But I would like to encourage people, along with me and my sorors that believe that this is very important, that you're actually the hero, because when you seek help and you find that things are not right, you're really making yourself available to those that need you. And it's the people that don't get the help at times that causes the greatest tragedies. So that's why this is important within our sorority. And the name of our sorority is Kappa Epsilon Lambda Royal Christian Sorority. And we are God fearing women, and we are service based.
I love it. So this is this morning, right? Or this, I'm in a series right now with Her News International, and we're dealing with a in the portion of the series, we are in the segment where we're talking about a wise woman build her house with her mind, right? And we're talking about, you know, issues, you know, the vain imaginations and things of that nature, that goes on and that happens, right, within our minds, and needing to get the appropriate assistance, because if if you're not built up in your mind, right, that mental capacity, like, you're really no good to anyone else. And so I love the fact that your platform is definitely dealing with mental health, because especially in our community, right, we do shy away, right, from any form of counseling when it comes to mental health. So I'm so excited that, listen, that even with the title, right, and you're pushing mental health awareness, and so that people can get in the right place with the right people among the right group, so that they can obtain the assistance that they need, right? As well. So we definitely appreciate that and absolutely love it. So I want to get back to the conference, right? We had the 2022 awards in March of this year. And like Dr. Chanel, said, look, all the women came in, and they came in from different places, and we also had it hybrid this year as well. But they just loved, right? They loved on one another. They just all came in and just came into the presence of the Lord. And when I say it was a very high time with the Lord, it really was. And so, but what made the difference in the room for me, or to me, was the women, right, that came together. Was the and let me just say this: there were men in the room too. So let's back up for a second. Was everybody in the room, right? They made a difference. It made a difference in the atmosphere, and that is the type of thing that we always want to come forth, whether we're online, whether we're in person, in and just coming through with the spirit of the Lord and getting the things that we need. Even though it was an award show, like, people was getting healed, right? It was still getting healed, having conversation, with people, and people was getting breakthroughs right there in the award show and things of that nature. Even as women was getting up and obtaining their awards, and giving it the testimony, or giving their acceptance speech, with the awards, and things of that nature. I mean, it was a very, very powerful event. So tell me about your red carpet experience. Or
Well,
royal carpet. I'm sorry, this the royal carpet. It's not red, it's purple, it's royal. It's the royal carpet.
I mean, the experience, it was beautiful. You're excited. You're at an award show. So many cameras, so many lights, and then you have an awesome royal carpet host. She's asking you questions, and it gives you an opportunity to work on your speaking skills as well. Learning how to speak, answering questions you may not have the answer to right away. I mean, I enjoyed it. It was, very enlightening, and it was fun.
It was. I enjoyed myself. And everybody else I pretty much talked to, they enjoyed themselves with being there, as well, and just seeing the men and the women alike, and just being in that type of environment of worship, praise, celebratory environment, and just full of love, and just full of laughter, with tears, as well. And it was absolutely amazing. So you guys, I'm going to um want to shift a little bit, because I do want to talk about the pageant. I want to do a video real quick of one of um, the clips from the I Am Her International. I think this one is the 2021. We got a couple of clips that we want to play, but then I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk about um, this Miss I Am Her International, and again, how we got shifted there, and then where we're going as well, because God just does amazing things. I'm telling you, God will tell you to do something. Like, I just thought I was writing a book. I was getting women to write a book. And he'll get you to do something and then he just evolve it. And you just like, what? And before you know it, you were doing things that you didn't have a thought to do, just because he just is who he is. So here we go.
So we are here live on the first surface with the founder and the strategist behind I Am Her International. This event was fire. This was definitely an extremely different event. You had it virtually and you had it in person. What made you come up with that concept?
Well, we're still coming out. We're coming out of the pandemic, and so many people are really not comfortable with coming in the space with one another. But also, I wanted to make sure that we can honor women and individuals from wherever they were in the world can come into the room and get part of what took place in this I Am Her International Awards Conference. I wanted to also honor women globally, and so if they couldn't make it physically, at least they could have made the virtual experience.
And what an impact it was. I just want to thank God so much for the vision, the strategist behind all this. It was amazing. And you also hosted, can you hear me? You also hosted the show today. So what is one thing that you expected or you got from the show today?
So one thing that I got from the show is that you, even as a nominee, even as a recipient, you are a keeper. Like you're doing what God has called you to do. And just the fact that your name has been called, has been drawn, you are in the number. So, yeah.
Well, that's good. Say, what did you take from the event now that it's over? Because it was virtually and in person. What did you all get from the event?
There was so much. One of the things I wanted to bring up was purpose. And so I really picked up from a lot of the women that went forth and they picked up the awards that God is really birthing purpose. And we've only hit like this much of it. Though we're doing a great work and though we're receiving awards to be nominated, but there's so much more. There's just so much more. No one God is expansive. This is just
picture, right?
You're doing pictures and oh, that's not the right one. Okay, so yes, and yes. Listen, we was at the award show and um, I was standing at the podium, and so I began to, rattle off my tongue the I Am Her International Awards. And as I began to, I'm sitting there, I'm standing there, and as I'm starting to rattle off it off my tongue, then the Lord just began to give me revelation and download, like download, you know, greater, right? Right there in the midst of us handing out or um, us giving the recipient, right, the awards. And so I got ready and I'm like, the I Am Her, and I'm like, no. And then I'm getting revelation. I was like, man, this should be Miss I Am Her International. It should have been a pageant with this. And I'm like, next year, that is what it is that we're going to do. And so as I was calling out, Dr. Chanel's name for this award, I'm telling you, God was just literally prophetically downloading like what it was that he desired or what it is that he wanted, for the daughters of Zion, as it just concerned, right? Um, this particular space and area. And so I want to ask Dr. Chanel because I also know that she is. Well, no, I want to go back because we had a conversation. I interviewed her afterwards, and I was talking to her about it, and she was like, I felt the same thing. So let's talk about what you was feeling, like what God was downloading to me at the time. And I said nothing about it to anybody, but I wound up speaking to you when we was doing our interview and you was like concurring with what I was saying. So tell me about what was going on your mind, in your mind during that moment.
I guess when I was thinking like that, I felt that I was personally looking too deep into things. I was like, I Am Her International Award. I was started wondering, now what if that was a Miss I Am Her International? And that was just me thinking. This is before I mentioned this to Dr. Daraje. This was before I was awarded that title or knew that I had that title. But I just felt like when I had received the I Am Her International Award, I felt like this should be a woman who can truly say she is healed, empowered, and resilient. And you can bring up evidence from your life, from your history that shows that. So, yeah, I just found that to be so interesting that when I had that thought, it was just for brief because I heard her put it out my mind. I was like, this is her platform. Okay. This is just a thought.
But what I love about it, he'll put it in the mouths of 2 to 3 witnesses, right? So you know what I'm saying. You're having the thought. I'm having the thought. I'm in the midst of calling out the award and just getting all of this download, and you're over there with a thought or whatever, and it's just like, and then when we get to have the conversation, it confirms that, hey, you went in your flesh and neither was I in my flesh, right? And it just further confirms that, because I mean it was nowhere, that was nowhere on my radar, nowhere on my radar whatsoever. Listen, I'm just trying to do the awards. I'm just trying to celebrate women and their contributions, with the awards. And then here we go, he's taking it to another level. And but that's how God does, and that's the thing I love about God. So even with that, I know that you hold another title as well. And so we do congratulate you on that. So why do what do you think, or why do you think is important, right, for women to even engage in pageantry?
You know, Before I started pageantry, I didn't understand that it was a transformative process. So, what's important for women that's in pageantry is to get to know yourself. And you already have to be the winner no matter what the outcome is. You have to already be that winner. You have to just be okay with whatever the outcome is. Walk away knowing, okay, maybe it's not your season if you don't walk away with the crown, if you don't walk away with the award. Um, with me, when it came to pageantry, I still feel like there's a lot of growing that I would have to do, and it helps you to realize some things. It calls you, especially if you're looking online at pageantry training videos and things like that, and you're discovering, oh, I need to grow in this area. Oh, I need to do more of this. And then then in that process, you actually start becoming. You start developing. You learn some things. So again, to answer your question, it's important to just get to know yourself, appreciate yourself, know what works for you, and don't try to be a copy of someone else.
You know what? I absolutely love that. And it's not is and what I love about it is, you said something very powerful. You said that, it's a transformational process. And that it becomes something, not for an outward appearance type of thing, but that inner man. It's something that strengthens the inner man, right, of a woman, right, of the one who is competing. And so it's so much bigger than the crown, right? You got the crown when you decided to enter into the pageant, right? You got the crown when you showed up for yourself, right? It doesn't matter. You got the crown, right? And the crown that every woman gets to receive is that everlasting. It's an everlasting crown, because it's that transformation, that inner transformation that one have, that can't compare to nothing. That absolutely cannot be compared to absolutely nothing. And so I'm excited that that God was speaking to me, and He was speaking to you, and that I did not allow the thought to dismiss the thought, or just lay the thought to rest. That my mind was like, we're doing it. Okay, okay, I don't even know what we're doing, but we're doing it. And so, with that being said, I want to introduce. She's not with us again. I said we're going to keep her in prayer and keep her family in prayer. I know her mom went in the hospital last week, and and she was with, and I know she was with her as well. And I know she was supposed to be flying back home yesterday because her mom's staying in a different state. So let's just keep her in prayer and all that they have going on as well. But I want to definitely officially announce on today our executive pageant coordinator, which is none other than Erica Quinn. I'm gonna try to grab a picture of her as well. And so I'm excited that she decided that that she loved what we do, that our brand aligns with what it is that she does as well. For those who know her, you know that she is very heavy in pageantry as well. She love it, and she love helping women really get that development in what it is that they need. And so I'm excited to announce her as the I Am Her international executive pageant coordinator. Man, that is so such an excitement. Also want you guys to know, for those who are in various states and even in other countries, listen, that we're gonna be there are gonna be applications as well, or information that's gonna be going out for individuals to be coordinators of their states as well. And so I want you guys to be looking out for that. You guys will work with Erica Quinn as well. We're looking forward to those who decide that, you know what, I want to be a coordinator for the state, for you guys meeting us at the Woman of God pageant, the I Am Her International Woman of God 2023 inaugural pageant. My God, where we're gonna have 6 divisions, and so, which is gonna be a miss, um, plus is elite and a classic. Okay, so I'm so looking forward to that. As well, and looking for those coordinators as well to meet us there. As listen, we're having a whole entire I Am Her International Week, and the pageant is going to kick it off. I'm just saying. And so it's going down. It's happening the third week in March. I'm going to give you guys those dates. So save the date, put it on your calendar. March the I believe it started on actually on that Tuesday. I believe I don't have the calendar in front of me, but you guys, it's information out there about it. But March the 7th through the 11th. The 7th, 8th, and 9th is all pageant, right? So I'm excited about that. The 17th will be our the 17th, 18th is conference. The On the 17th, on that night, is going to be the I Am Her inaugural fashion show as well. So we are doing 2 extra components. Brand new, with our brand. So I'm excited about that. Erica is going to be coordinating the fashion. Well, we're co-coordinating the fashion show, but she's going to deal with the models and those pieces or what have you. I got my design. I'm taking care of the designers, the photographers, the videographers. That's going to be my thing. So you guys are going to see all type of information that's going to be going out about it. But woman of God or women of God, wherever you may be around the world, listen, you can um, put your name, right? You can go ahead and sign up and compete and register for your state title, your crown, and your sash today. in any one of the divisions that appropriately fit you. Okay. You can go to PXFYI slash WOG pageant, which is Woman of God pageant. So you can do that. And listen, we look forward to crowning our women right next year. I'm excited about that. I'm excited for the process, and you will get. Listen, your training is tight. We have your calendars are already put together. I'm so excited. You will definitely get various trainings because I mean we're in it to win it. We want to make sure that you're in it to win it because we know that if this is your first pageant that you'll compete in, we know that it won't be your last, and so we want to just to push you to states of excellence. So when y'all come and take the stage and y'all hit the stage and y'all hit the platforms, I'm telling you, it is just a setup for excellent. And so I'm absolutely excited about it. I'm absolutely excited about it, and that it is just going to be done God's way, right? It's going to be done God's way, and I'm excited for everybody who's going to be a part of it, and for those that are also to come, because we are really we're just really working toward just helping the daughters of Zion, doing our portion that we're called to do in the earth, like, right, for such a time as this. Everybody has their portion. um and so and we're just doing ours, and we're connecting and we're collaborating with others in their prospective places, so that we can get all of it done. Okay, so that we can get all of it done. The I'm gonna put, oh, I should have put it up a different way. You guys give me a second. Put up the way that you can go ahead and register, but again, all over social media. You should see information or flyers and on Facebook. I know there's an event about the pageant, about the awards show as well. For the awards, you can go to www.IamHer International/awards, and again, you can nominate a woman today. The pageant and the awards, all of the registration for the pageant and nominations for the awards close on October the 15th. So if you're thinking about it, you're considering it, you want to go ahead and start your process on today. There are so many other things that we have going on. I want you guys to look out for conferences that's going to be happening. We got I Am Her International, the Kenya Experience, that's coming up in about 2 months in October. Um, and so we're excited to go over there and touch the lives of those amazing women over there. And um, we're gonna have something in the U.S. and then we're also going to put something together virtual as well for you amazing women, so that we can make sure that you're in a consistent state of training and development. And for those that become a part of the I Am Her International membership, you guys get monthly training. You guys get monthly training along with some other things, so that it can help in your personal, professional, and spiritual growth and development. So we're absolutely excited about that. You guys keep a lookout for the flyers that we have, that's going out, that's coming out, that's already out, and things of that nature. I was trying to see in comments. I was on one space, and let me just greet and do say thank for everybody who have showed up. I'm for some reason I'm still not sure about this technology. Why I'm not able to see. I'm supposed to be able to see all the places where everybody is. Um, all the platforms and all the comments and things of that nature. But unfortunately, that's not manifesting for me. So I can only see the comments in a few places. So if you have been commenting, and again, if you have questions, I will, and you're on one of the platforms, whether it's the YouTube, one of the YouTube channels, one of the Instagram channels, or some of the Facebook channels, I will make sure that I go back and personally reply to your comments as well. I'm just on. I'm limited to. I think I'm only seeing like three different platforms, three different platforms when I know that it's going out in about 20 different places. So I do apologize for that. Tech is like so out of my control. But I will make sure that I do my due diligence, right? And make sure that I just go back and reply to each and every last one of you. So we're gonna make sure that we do that as well. So Dr. Chanel, quick question: is there anything you want to leave with the people on today?
Just be you. Be you. Do what's right. And what I learned with doing what's right is easy to see what's not right and see if you're operating from a place that is not coming from doing well by others, then there's a problem. And I think it's just important to just do the best that you can to do right so that you can have clarity. So be encouraged, love who you are, get into your purpose. And Dr. Daraje, this is how I think I ended up with your crown. Okay, because I was in my purpose.
Right,
I'm in my purpose.
right,
I've been big on royalty, and I started attracting royalty. Because I'm
absolutely.
in my purpose, I started becoming who God has destined me to become. So that's the biggest thought I want to leave with everyone. Just be who you are, get into your purpose.
Absolutely. So I absolutely love it. You guys, as you said, look, when you're in that place of purpose, we know that in the book of Deuteronomy, he said that my favor will follow you. My favor will follow you. And so when you aligned, when he said, you be obedient. He said, let me just make a correction on that. He said, if you follow these commands that I give unto you today, my favor will follow you. And so when you're moving in purpose, that's you're moving in the command of the Lord. When you're moving towards your destiny. And I just believe that when you move in purpose, to me, it's like voice activation, right? That when your voice activation, when your voice is recognized, it follows the command. So when you move in purpose and you begin to move in the earth in purpose, the earth yields, right? The earth yields to what it is that God has designed unto you. It yields to God's plan for your life. God began to cause the atmosphere and things in the earth to shift and align, right, with your destiny so that his word can come forth in your life. So let me just, I want to make sure I've cleared that up because I don't want people to, to start thinking the earth doing something. No, God causes it to do it. He makes it align, he calls it to align with his word so that his word can manifest in your life. And we've seen that happen over and over and over and over again. You've seen it in David's life in the word. You see it happens in Mary's life in the word. We see it in Jesus' life. Everyone. We see it in Moses. We see it in, and you're seeing it in Dr. Chanel's. You're seeing it in my life as well. Because listen, let me tell you, when God told me I was international, was doing international things, I didn't know an international person. But now we get the opportunity to connect with people all over the world. We get to fly into other countries and minister and teach and do all types of things. Why? Because we align with purpose, and God began to cause the earth to yield. and bring in, called it to yield to his word so that the promises can manifest. I get people all the times that God put you on my heart to do a thing. And and God do things just like that. So listen, you guys, I want you to know, dynamic woman of God, that you are her, and that you are everything that God has called for you to be. You can never be duplicated or replicated. You are an original design, an authentic, one of a kind, and that the world needs what you have because only you can produce it. So when you step into that purpose, that power, when you step into purpose, you begin to move in the power that God has given unto you, and everything that is awaiting, that's awaiting your arrival, is going to begin to open up so that, right, you can experience everything that you've been dreaming of. Know that you are her internationally, and I absolutely love you. And I look forward to those who are going to be nominated for the I Am Her International Awards, one of those 70, in one of those 70 categories, and in addition to those who are going to be a part of our inaugural Woman of God pageant. We look forward to seeing you guys later. You guys have an amazing day.